All right, the camera's on. So, what's a good first date idea? Now, let's talk about this. And, honestly, I want you to surprise your date. I want you to have a great time, totally chill, hang out, do lots of stuff. Don't think about planning one thing and wasting all your time to do that. What you got to do is you got to be creative in these situations. And this is where dates start before it's official. People will hook up before they're actually hooked up. There's fighting without fighting in the art of war. And in the art of war, they talk about efficient use of resources. And this is where, are you going to get somebody to do something they don't like to do? I don't think it's going to go too well. And then they're going to get all upset, and it's going to push things a different direction. Now, on the other hand, if somebody likes somebody enough, they'll want to do anything with them. So let's look at this. Now, first date ideas. They talk about movies, all this stuff. Dude, just go somewhere. Just do something. That's the main thing about it in this day and age. People aren't exactly hooking up and going out to the movies like they used to. They text on the cell phone or Facebook and, okay, I'm coming by. And, it's much less official. And so the thing with relationships is, it all depends on the acknowledgement and the gravitation. And gravitation's ultimately important. This is where somebody has comfort and security and interest in this other person. They're gravitating to them, and they feel that they fill their life. And so with a date idea, you got to consider this. And so just enjoy yourself. And if you don't want to do something, let them know. And this is where you want to run a situation. If you don't agree with them, don't just aimlessly agree. The more you are assertive in your personality. Now, not aggressive or passive. Assertive is in the middle, where you assert when you think you need to. But, the key to a date is connect. And to have lots in your mind. You don't really want too much on your mind about the idea, where is it going to go? Just enjoy yourself. And, if you get somebody into doing stuff that they've never done before, or they enjoy themselves and have a great time and have a blast, and it's going to work. And so senses of humor is another thing on dating. And, connecting is another thing. And so this is where, with relationships, you will see the element of chemistry. And now this is the second part. What is chemistry? Well, chemistry means somebody basically is bonded to another person over time. It's like a bond between two different elements. Now you have ionic bonds where it's more just short-term electron pairing, or, basically based on charges. And so it's like a sexual relationship where people are just strongly bonded for the lust. And then somebody comes along, boom, it's more covalent, they're more bonded naturally to somebody. And that's who they gravitate to. And so in a lot of relationships, people say, why the hell do some people like these jerks? Well, sometimes the dominating jerks remind somebody of a parent and bring this security. And people will marry their family. They'll see something in a certain person that subconsciously draws them. And so that is where relationships, you'll kind of tell, because it's biological. And like in the art of war, there's situations that can be successful or bad, depending on how somebody runs something. If a man goes out there thinking, oh, I'm going to get this to a new level and all the stuff and rushes it, no, not going to happen. Now, on the other hand, like when you're on a first date, if you just want to chill and hang out and they see that, this is a cool person who has all this interest, and they have some common interests, but they enjoy the company of this person. They feel like being with them is great. That's the chemistry then. Now with chemistry, it's more about connecting too. And, this is where watch stand-up comics and all kinds of stuff. And, you want to watch Blind Date a lot and kind of figure out, try and see if you can anticipate what somebody's thinking when they see something. What's the guy going to do? And watch it and just anticipate what you think is going to happen. And that's how you get good. So, everybody has their issues, but you will see that, people's interests in relationships change over time. Like a lot of people in their teens look for looks and status and personality. Then, in the college, it's more about personality. And then in the real world, it's more about who's getting where. And that's where you see the gravitation factor. And you'll see a guy that has great job, boom, a lot of people come up to him. Then another guy has a great job, but he is extremely desperate. And because of his desperation, he doesn't have a lot of female friends or male friends if it's a woman. It's basically they end up subconsciously drawing people away. And so the gravitation is where somebody has a subconscious drive to go up to them. And they can't really describe it, they just do. And so that is the key in relationships. And so that is why, like dating sites will take a picture of a situation where a man has no shot. and no opportunity and no chemistry or anything. And he thinks it's there because the other person's just his friend. And he thinks, okay, maybe he can go to a different level. No. Not happening. And, the people will jump to the conclusions and think that something's going to go a certain way, and it just won't. So, you can't fight biology, just like you got to strike what's weak and have a sound plan that works. And you got to know yourself, know your situations, and this is where, when somebody goes up against a fortified target or a situation that's not going to work, they waste their energy, whereas chemistry is where somebody can naturally connect to somebody, and this person seems to like them more and more the more they're around them. That's more in the chemistry side. And that's where it could be friendship or relationships, and the sexy thing to do is just say, I don't care. I'm open to either. I'm open to anything. I don't care. I don't think about that much. And you let the other person come to you. Because a lot of times guys stress on relationships, they try to push it too aggressively, and they lose their ability to be friends with somebody. So, with like first date ideas, it's to get to know somebody. It's not to try and impress them or, pull stuff. And so, the guys that get themselves geared in the wrong mode are seen through immediately. They're seen with the brute force that is irrelevant regardless of whether you win a battle. It becomes irrelevant because you can't win politically if the person thinks that they are just being pursued. This is where the political momentum and whether somebody actually likes a person or not comes out. And that's what you see. So, basically here's a video and it's got some integrated points. So I guess it's done now. Thanks for watching.